Taking you out live here, take a look at this. Spyglass Drive in Panama City Beach, courtesy of surfline.com. Right now, the area is bracing for Tropical Storm Fred. It's expected to make landfall later this afternoon. We're getting a few fringe effects here in the Bay Area. But Grant, you can see a little ominous looking there. The clouds.
You know, it's always amazing to me because they're in between one of the bands right now of Fred. So in between those bands, it just looks like a cloudy, kind of a gloomy day up there. But Fred strengthening this morning, and we'll continue to see conditions deteriorate over the panhandle of Florida as we go into the afternoon. Our conditions, well, they've kind of looked the same, though obviously not dealing with the threat of a tropical storm on the way, though those fringe impacts are making it look quite ominous out there on the horizon. The view from our Wyndham Grand Clearwater Beach camera right now. You see the surf is up a bit. We usually don't see those types of waves here along our coast. We have seen a little bit stronger winds at times. Southeast winds are on 7 miles per hour. Temperatures at 82 degrees right now at Clearwater Beach. But the coast is a little deceiving right now. Our beaches, though, we just showed you the surf is up, but there is a rip current concern all up along our beaches. A high rip current risk extending all the way south towards Fort Myers, and then more of a medium risk for rip currents up along the Nature Coast, but a growing concern for higher than normal tides as some of that water is pushed towards the coast. Obviously a lesser concern along the Nature Coast from Hernando up to Citrus County compared to those up in the Big Bend area where they could see a 3 to 5 foot storm surge, and the storm surge warning is in effect for them as Fred approaches from the south. Roughly about 50 miles or so now from Apalachicola, tracking to the north. It looks like it'll make landfall somewhere near Panama City Beach around 4 to 6 o'clock this evening. In fact, over the last several scans of the radar, it looks like an eye wall feature is beginning to form here as the storm gradually tracks to the north around 10 miles per hour. Last check, wind speeds were at 60 miles per hour. It takes a 74 mile per hour wind to be a hurricane, so this will be a strong tropical storm as it tracks to the north. These storms just off our coast are pretty much tracking from south to north. Quite a bit of lightning within that, maybe even some rotation. So we'll have to watch that to potentially pivot through the Nature Coast, maybe bringing a water spout or a tornado to our coast. Though, again, I think a lot of this is going to continue to track to the north, missing most of our area. But we are already beginning to see a few isolated showers developing over the land. The greater threat for severe weather will be closer to the center of Fred as it makes landfall later on today, but still parts of northwestern Citrus County underneath a marginal risk for some severe storms, something that we'll be watching closely into the afternoon. Fred makes landfall later today, weakens as it travels north into Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, even up into West Virginia, dealing with some of the rains associated with Fred later on this week. And then there's more. We've got Tropical Depression Grace moving through the southern coast of Hispaniola. Grace will track west, potentially becoming close to a hurricane as it makes landfall not once but twice on Mexico and the Yucatan and then maybe northeastern Mexico. Also, Tropical Depression 8 could become Tropical Storm Henri later today as it spins around near Bermuda out in the open waters of the Atlantic. Back home, here's what our futurecast looks like as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. Those coastal showers and storms most likely into this evening. We'll see more inland spotty showers. A lot of that rain begins to taper off. Maybe a stray shower back along the coast to start tomorrow, but then we'll start to get into more of a normal pattern with scattered showers and storms developing mainly through the afternoon as we head through the second half of the week. Here's your 7-day forecast, looking at a 60% chance of rain today, 50% chance of storms tomorrow, and then we'll drop that chance of storms down to 40% as we head into the weekend with highs staying in the middle 90s.